What's up everybody, SuperDorks fan here for another weekly update. So, two new things in this video. The first is that I'm going to try doing the car portion of the weekly update at the end only and just go right into the news here in the beginning of the video. So let me know your thoughts on that. And then the second thing that's going to be different this week is that Tesla is going to be unveiling the Model 3 Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. And unfortunately I filmed this on Thursday afternoons. So I'm going to do the news like normal, but I'm going to insert at the beginning here my thoughts on the Model 3 from the unveil that'll be going on here Thursday night. Alright, so here at about midnight, Tesla unveiled the Model 3, and it was met with a ton of excitement. The excitement for the Model 3 is unlike any car release I've ever seen before. I mean, people were lining up like it was a new iPhone. I mean, there were people camping out sometimes even a day beforehand, but all day today people were camping out long lines at all these Tesla stores. It was amazing. Tesla actually said that they received 115,000 pre-orders for the Model 3, and they're not even going to be starting deliveries until the end of next year, they said. So it's going to be a little ways, and if you want one and you haven't already reserved it, you're probably going to be waiting several years for one. So, but it looks very cool. You know, they showed it off here, and very futuristic. Definitely has a lot of Porsche Panamera in the front end there, but I think it looks great, honestly, and it's a really nice looking little car. That now, for the rundown of it, $35,000 starting price, which is really impressive, and that's obviously just the base starting price. There'll probably be larger batteries and lots of options you can get, but still, Elon Musk in the whole press conference said that even if you get the base one, it's still a very nice car, and he said it's nicer than anything else you'll be able to get at $35,000. Of course, that's his opinion, but that's what he said in the press conference. They also said that because there is no engine, it has more cargo capacity than any other vehicle that's around its same dimensions in its same class. And so very impressive, you know, for that as well. He also said that they don't make slow cars, and that even the slowest Model 3 will do 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds, which means that, you know, he said there'll be even faster versions, of course. So, I mean, if you could imagine a P90D from the Model S, that powertrain in this smaller, lighter car, could make for some hypercar numbers, honestly. So we'll just have to wait and see, you know, how much of that Model 3 stuff or Model S stuff works its way into the Model 3. They also said, you know, it's going to be a very safe vehicle. They said they're committed to 5-star crash test ratings for all the crash test ratings. And as we know with the Model S, that, you know, they're extremely safe even beyond the standard testing procedures. So no doubts there whatsoever. But yeah, a very exciting debut, and you know, still looks similar to the Model S in many ways, just a smaller version. But I think it looks really great, and is a great move by Tesla. Along the lines of performance, another thing that they mentioned is that it'll have a minimum range of 215 miles. Now, of course, that will go up with probably larger battery packs, or they said that's just the EPA testing cycle. He says that it'll probably be higher than that, but that's the minimum is 215 miles, which I think is plenty sufficient for most people and will still be a really great range. And so, yeah, just a really impressive car all around, and it seems like, I mean, like I said, the hype around this vehicle is unlike any I've ever seen before, and so I just got to congratulate Tesla on a job well done. So back to the other news going on over the past week here. The first is some sad news from Nissan, and that is that their design boss has said they're not going to be doing a Toyota 86 Subaru BRZ type fighter. They said it's just too expensive to do an affordable rear-wheel drive sports car that's any good, and so they're saying that they're just trying to make it and survive, and that they're not going to be able to spend the money to do that. So it's really sad because, you know, the IDX looked great. It was a really cool concept, and it's a shame that they're never going to be able to make that, but they said they're not doing it. They did say, though, the GTR is safe, of course, that we just saw the new version of that, and then the totally new version will be coming out in 2020 still, supposedly. And they also said that the Z is going to remain in the lineup. Now, I know some people have been asking me, is there any news about a Z? There isn't any definite plans as far as what kind of Z is going to be coming next, just that they do plan to make another Z, and they're going to continue selling the 370 for who knows how much longer. But they said that for the next Z, they want to take some design inspiration from the 240Z, the Datsun version. That's all that we have. No kind of even hint at when that will be coming, but I certainly wouldn't expect it any earlier than the new GTR in 2020. So we're talking about next decade, probably for the next Z, sadly. Who knows, maybe they'll surprise us, but that's just what we've been hearing here. But sad to hear about that. some exciting news is, Hyundai, they have the Genesis luxury division, and like most luxury divisions, they want to do a supercar. And when I say they, I mean they're designers. So I didn't realize this, but one of the people that Hyundai has hired to design these new Genesis vehicles, the guy that developed and actually designed the Lamborghini Gallardo and Murcielago. So that guy that designed those awesome cars is now working for this Genesis brand, and he wants to do a supercar, and him and another designer, they both want to do it, but they said, it'll be interesting to see if the corporate people in Hyundai see the value in a supercar and want to finance such an enormously expensive project. And so in the meantime, we're just going to be waiting, but at least we know that, their designers want to do something. Hopefully in time, Genesis will want to do something. Of course, they're going to have all the luxury sedans and stuff first, but Genesis supercar in the future could be really awesome. And of course, we know they did the Vision Gran Turismo concept, and who knows, maybe they could make something that looks remotely close to that. That would be very cool. Other cool news from Hyundai though this week is that they filed a patent for a gull-wing style door that would be used for camping. It's kind of so it works. It's like a minivan, door where it'll slide back like a normal minivan door would, but then you can have the whole thing raise up, and it would be good for camping and be like a Volkswagen camper van kind of in the way that those worked. And so just a patent drawing. Another quick little story is we know that there's a group of car makers that all agreed that by 2020 they're going to have standard automatic braking in their vehicles. But Toyota and Lexus went one step further this past week when they announced that by 2017, all Toyota and Lexus vehicles will have standard automatic braking technology. So it'll be, the radar-based kind of stuff that senses if you're getting close and will automatically brake. And so they're trying to just, I guess be one of the front runners here for this new safety technology. And so interesting to see that. Another quick little story is Mazda this past week said that they're not doing any kind of new hybrid or electric vehicles. They're just sticking with their Skyactiv technology with direct injected regular gasoline engines, and that's it. So kind of crazy to hear that, considering everyone else is going for everything electric these days, but it's refreshing at the same time that they're committed to the regular gasoline engine. They do make a hybrid version of the Mazda 3 in Japan, but here in the States, we don't get that, of course, and they don't plan to bring any anytime soon. They say that electric technology may factor in for them in the distant future, is what they said, but nothing in the meantime here in the reasonably close future, I suppose. So interesting to see that, and kind of cool as well. Next thing that's pretty cool is it's been confirmed that the next Aston Martin Vantage will have a manual transmission. We knew a while ago that Aston had commented that they are committed to keeping the manual transmission available in their model lineup in one way or another, and so it's apparently confirmed that the new Vantage will have a manual option. Of course, they'll probably have a dual clutch as well for those that want that. So that's pretty awesome. We know it's also going to have an AMG V8 engine, probably the 4-liter one. But we don't know much more beyond that. And that car is still a few years off, but great to see that they're working on that. And other exciting Aston Martin news they talked about this week is that because of their partnership with Red Bull for Formula One, what they actually said, one Aston Martin boss here said this past week that the Vanquish, the next generation Vanquish, which means I guess the new one's coming, which is great news regardless, but that a next generation Vanquish could have some F1 technology. They learned all the stuff they learned from their Formula One racing could work its way into the Vanquish, including carbon fiber structural elements and also Keras type system, maybe hybrid technology, something like that, to give it a little bit of a boost. So great to see that stuff. Very exciting. A car that was spied this past week was an updated Ford F-150. It's due for a refresh here, and so for next year, they're going to be changing the front end, it looks like, based off the heavy camouflage here we have on the front end of this one that was spied. And we know that it's probably going to be getting a diesel engine as well. So that could be pretty big news. And we don't know anything else about it other than that, but still cool to see that nonetheless. And Volvo this past week at the New York Auto Show, actually, this is one that slipped through the cracks with all the craziness last week, and I didn't talk about it, but Volvo unveiled the XC90 Excellence, which has already been around, but they officially announced they're bringing it to the States in limited numbers. Here's the kicker. The price for the States is $106,000 for this Volvo SUV, which is more than double the price of a standard XC90. And of course, it deletes the third row and gives you a very nice second row there that's very luxurious. Whether it's worth $106,000 for a Volvo with that interior will be up to buyers, of course, but cool that they're giving people that option. A nice alternative to the Range Rovers and things like that. Some exciting possible potential news from Chevy is this past week they were questioned about the SS, and with the Holden Commodore dying off in 2017, whether the SS would share the same fate. But apparently this guy Chevrolet has said he's not committing to, like, they're not killing off the SS like just yet. They remain tight-lipped as far as what they actually plan to do, whether they're going to continue building the current SS somewhere else or if they're going to have an all-new global SS that they'll be building somewhere else. I'm not sure. He said they're just focusing on the 2017 model, but he said don't be so quick to just dismiss the idea of a new SS, that even though it's selling in low numbers, they do really like the car, and maybe they'll work on a new one. So fingers crossed for that, because I love the current SS, especially with the manual. It's fantastic. So hopefully they keep that car alive. And then another interesting thing this past week, two stories from Land Rover. The first is that the SVO division that makes the SVR models for the F-Type and the Range Rover Sport and things like that, they're going to be doing an off-road version of some Land Rovers here, possibly called the SVX, starting with the new Discovery, but also it could work its way into other Land Rover products. And they said it could be more than just your typical lift kit and stubby tires and things like that. They said they could have some pretty cool technological advancements to overcome some off-roading challenges. What that actually means or how it will materialize remains to be seen, but cool to see that. And then the other thing is that they said that there's apparently plans to make a Range Rover Sport Coupe, which would be a BMW X4 fighter and a GLC Coupe kind of fighter, and it would slot between the Evoque and the Range Rover Sport, and kind of be a middle ground between those, and have the kind of swoopier styling and things like that. Who knows when that will be arriving, but of course that could get faster versions as well if they do in fact make it. And the last story this week is the Nürburgring has removed all the speed limits from the Nordschleife, which is really great to hear, because, about a year ago, they put these speed limits into effect so that, all these, battles between lap times with the GTR and the 911 Turbo and all kinds of other cars, about it got this much of a, lap time with the Nürburgring and stuff like that. That may be coming back again because they removed these speed limits. You can now go as fast as you want again on the Nürburgring, which is great news. And so, yeah, great to see that. Anyway, that's it for all the news this week, guys. So I'll send it back to me in the car. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the weekly news. So as far as updates on the channel and all that kind of stuff, well, this week I am driving the 2016 Volkswagen Passat SE with technology as my press car. And as far as family sedans go, this thing seems just about perfect. It's got everything you want. It's reasonably priced, and you get a lot for the money. It's very comfortable, smooth, enough power, great fuel economy, great infotainment, and it's really hard to fault. Obviously you push it into corners and there's body roll, and it's not as fast as I would have liked, but for people wanting a family sedan, this is really hard to beat. And for 2016 here, you got a flat bottom wheel like in the GTI and stuff like that, and yeah, just a really nice little car here. Otherwise though, I just want to thank you guys for your support on all the videos I posted up this past week, the Jeep Renegade review, and I did get some backlash for the video about selling the Mustang next year, which I expected, but it's still never easy to deal with haters and criticism and things like that. But it's just something that comes with the territory, and you got to get used to it little by little here. But yeah, so other than that though, I just want to thank you guys for all your support always. It's really appreciated. And a lot of you guys, whenever I tweeted about how I was getting kind of annoyed with some of the haters, some of you guys reached out to me and sent me supportive messages and things like that, and that really goes a long way and really helps to keep the wind in my sails, so to speak. So thank you very much for all that support. Alrighty, so I'll leave you guys with a nice little acceleration here like I always do. There we go. So this thing, it's not the fastest thing out there, but for a family sedan, it's fine. But yeah, if I want to go fast, I just hop in the Mustang. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you next week. Take care.